So here's a few drills that we do these are everyday drills that we do with our corners. First one we do is mirror drill. So I put their toes on the line. The line is where the receiver is, and we're going to be head up on that receiver. We're not going to play shaded inside. We're not going to play shaded outside. We're going to be head up, and we tell our corners, before this receiver could score a touchdown, where does he have to go? And they're like, Coach, he has to run by me. Exactly. So there's no need for me to step across that line and attack that wide receiver. When we play really good receivers, if you do that, he's going to swim and re-by you, and now that side pocket throw is going to be wide open. So we want to be patient. We want to mirror him as long as we can, and then once he commits down the field, I'm going to shoot my hands, get my eyes back inside, because I am the force player, and then I'm going to sink. I sink, I never cover grass. I sink, I read the number 2 receiver, the slot, the inside receiver. If he goes vertical, I keep running. I'm not asking you to play man-to-man on him, but I'm asking you to run all the way down the field, so that if that quarterback does throw a side pocket throw on the line, he at least has to put a little bit of air on it so our safety can get there. But again, we want our corners to be as patient but physical once that receiver commits down the field. Again, that's our mirror drill. So it's just here with the coach on the inside, just giving them the command, eyes inside. A lot of questions I get are, Coach, when do you tell them to get their eyes on the receiver? Whenever the quarterback gives you the indicator, whether it's leg lift or whatever he's doing, get your eyes on the receiver. Once the receiver has committed or he does his little move, you shoot your hand, you get your eyes back inside. If I tell our corners, if you make a tackle for a 5-yard loss, you guessed, because there's no way that you should be making a tackle for a 5-yard loss if you did your job and getting your hands on that receiver, because if that receiver runs down the field and catches the ball the next time, because the offensive coordinator said, Coach, we're not getting hands on, he's just guessing, that's going to be on him. That's going to be on that corner. So for him, a successful play is a tackle for a 1-yard gain. That's a great play by the corner for us, because that's meaning that he did his job. Then next drill, it progresses to our hands-on drill. Now we put a receiver there, eyes there, gets the indicator, supposed to get his eyes there, hands on. Get back to the line, because a lot of times when we go back to the field, you're going to see we have a numbers rule. If there's a receiver 2 yards outside the numbers, we are never going out there. We're going to play it. We're going to go off, and we're going to get 7 yards, and I'm going to see both of them and still play cover 2 from there. Again, the mistake we make is we want to carry that guy more than 2 yards. So we have a 2-yard rule. Here, I never carry him more than 2 yards inside. I never carry him more than 2 yards outside that hash. That's why we do it this way. Once I get 2 yards, I let him go, and I get back to where my original landmark was, because I got to get back to the flats. I don't want to cover the sideline. I don't want to run with him across the field, because he goes across the field, you got an H-back or a number 2 receiver coming out now to outflank you. But again, that's why we do this here. So we got head up, 2-yard roll inside, 2-yard roll outside, and then we get back to the top of to our landmark where the receiver was originally lined up. And you'll see that here in a few minutes when we change our angle. So here it is, the same exact drill. Now we're doing it with our landmarks. Okay? Once you get the game going, and we tell our receivers, you're going to know right now, or not our receivers, our corners, you're going to know right from the beginning if it's a run or a pass. First 3 plays of the game, you may not know, because they're going to try to run you off. But you get any plays after that, these receivers, they're not going to, if it's a run play, they're going to stand there and run block you right from the start. And you're going to know it's a run, get off, go help with the force play. And right now, that helps the safety with his read as well. He sees him jacking with him blocking. I can feel and be an alley player now instead of having to cover grass. And we'll get to those drills with the safeties here in a few minutes as well. But again, we don't want, once we get hands-on, see if I have one here. I think I have one here that's not a very good one. In, 2 yards, and then we got to get back to our flat zone. We don't want to keep chasing them. You just go hard in for a 2-yard step. The mistakes that we make at this are when they outside release wide, we get wide and we stay between the numbers and the hash. I don't want to be that, or the number and the sideline. I want to get back to the top of the numbers, because my number 2 that's running his 8-yard out is going to stop before he gets to the numbers, because they know we play so much cover 2. So we got to work our way back up. Again, now we did our 1 receiver routes. Now we're teaching them, okay, LOB there, hands on, read number 2. Number 2 face comes at me. Now I can throttle down. I don't have to sink as far. Our rules when we talk about the flats is our flats at Steele High School, yes, our corner is at the line of scrimmage, but our flats don't start until 5, and they go 5 to 15 yards. That is the flat area. So a lot of times when you see the side pocket throw at 11 yards, we tell our guys, yeah, the safety looks bad, like he didn't get there, but in reality, that's a flat throw. That's a 12-yard throw. That's an 11-yard throw. That's still in the flats. That safety is not going to get there. Now, if you would have got hands-on and sank like you're supposed to, he wouldn't have been able to throw that ball. He would have had to put some air on it, or he would have had to let him get down the field a little bit further so that our safety could have got there to make that play. But again, he does a good job here getting hands-on and then working his way back, to the numbers. We'd like him a little bit higher, but he got back up a little bit. Same thing here, 2-man routes, right? Hands-on, read number 2, what he's doing. Hard outside release. He does a terrible job here. That is not what we want it to look like. That's what I put it on here. He does what every young corner does. He wants to get hands-on, but then he loses where he's at on the field. He's not covering anybody out here. He's covering the sideline. We don't want to cover the sideline. We got our flat players. Our flats are 5 to 15, but I got to get back to the numbers, to the top of the numbers, so I can cover the corner route, or I can cover a 10-yard out route. So our corners, we're not going to backpedal. We shuffle on everything that we do. So all we're doing is just a normal W drill, shuffling. Try not to bring our heels together when we are doing during our shuffle. We don't want to click them like we do in basketball, but we just want to work on getting out of our drives. So we'll do the quick one here, and then we'll do the full 5. But again, we're working the drills that we work in our practices are the ones we're not going to waste time backpedaling with these guys, because we're not going to backpedal in the game. We're going to shuffle. All right, LOB, we call it lane of ball. When I first got in at Steele High School, LOB we did lane 1, which was true option. Like, boom, lane 1, dive, quarterback pitch, right, going down straight down the line. And then lane 2 was under center, 45-degree play action stuff. And then lane 3 was under center, straight drop back. Well, as years have gone by and progressed, now your LOB, our LOB at Steele is lane 1 is catch, direct into the line as some type of option. Lane 2 now is any type of handoff that's a play action pass. And then lane 3 is catch and just straight drop back, no play action. So that's how we've adjusted our concepts and what we tell our kids throughout the years. So they got to know exactly, they got to be able to recognize what lane it is and understand that with any type, if there's no play action and it's downhill, that's a run, I got to get involved now. If it's any type of ball and belly, it could be run or pass, I got to hang on a little bit longer and get hands-on as the corner, and I got to stay in my pedal a little bit longer as a safety so that I know for sure it's a pass or it's a run before I come down, or I stay in my pedal to make sure I cover my deep half. And then lane 3 is straight drop back, hands-on. I sink, read 2 as a corner, and I'm trying to get my depth as a safety and cover my deep half of the field. So here's how we practice it just on air. We just practice our different, how the coach is back here. They're just going to tell you, boom, straight drop back, boom, hands-on, shuffle, 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 cover your area. That's all it is. It's just repping this daily so that they understand what our lanes are. So we go there, we'll hand it in the middle of the field, and then we'll do running plays on the outside as well. Boom, there's a handoff on the outside, force, alley player. Like him to get a little bit flatter because he's replacing that safety, and this backside corner, he's going to get all the way across the field to go make the touchdown saving tackle. And then the last one here is a run right up the middle. Again, you got to practice it. My 2 safeties are coming down to fit. My 2 corners are doing the umbrella integrity, where they come across the top of the field just in case he does squeeze through, that they're there as well to make a touchdown saving tackle.